We have to make this introduction really quick because as you can see behind us, we got some nasty weather rolling in.
Now sit back, relax, and let us do the driving for you.
During this trip, we're going to be revisiting a lot of our favorite places in Wyoming, in the Bighorn Mountains, and where we are right now, down just south of the Bighorn Mountain National Forest on BLM land. Now this trip is going to be a variation of two already established routes. There's the Kaycee Hazleton loop route, which we're on right now, and then we're going to hit the Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Trail. Now you can get GPS tracks for both of those routes. We'll try to remember to put links in the video description below. If we happen to forget, just Google it. It's Kaycee Hazleton loop route and the Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Trail. We accomplished what we set out to do today. We did the Kaycee Hazleton route clockwise. About 3/4 of the way through it though, we did find a road that headed straight west, and there we joined up with the Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Trail. The Kaycee Hazleton route is really pretty darn easy. We ran into some mud today, so we did have to put it into 4-wheel drive. In fact, one section we had to put it in 4-low, but for 90%, 95% of the entire route, it's 2-wheel drive. It's slow because it's very bumpy. You're running on a lot of sand, you're running on rocks and washboards. So it's a slow one in most spots.
But it was fun. We saw some wildlife and some not so wildlife.
Yeah, what I really like about the route is the diversity of the landscapes you go through. When you first start out on the southeast and the south, it's pretty much wide open prairie and rolling prairie lands, great for livestock. And then you get into an area where there's the red cliffs, almost like southern Utah in some spots. And then you get up into the high prairie, I guess what you would call it. It's a high elevation prairie. It's fairly flat. It's very beautiful though.
We stopped and had lunch today at the middle fork of the Powder River. There's a campground there with a bathroom. Most of the campsites are just so-so, but there's one really nice one down by the water.
There's only like 4 or 5 campsites.
Yeah.
They all sucked but one.
Well, it'd be great for a fisherman. If you were a fisherman, you would love it because it's right by this little stream, this little creek.
The one is, the other one sucked. We eventually made it into the Bighorn Mountain National Forest, and we're still on the Backcountry Discovery Trail, and we found an awesome place to camp.
It's pretty nice. There's a bit of
cow manure. You're gonna get that in National Forest. Dispersed camping, especially. Poop is everywhere, pretty much. But pick a spot where it's dry poop and not fresh. We're gonna stay on the Backcountry Discovery Trail and hopefully make it up to the very far north end of the National Forest.
And then what?
Then we come south. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. Well, we had a bit of a surprise this morning. We woke up, I get out of the tent, and I hear some noises, and I look over on the hill on the other side of us over here, and there was hundreds and hundreds of elk. This huge herd, the biggest elk herd I've ever seen, and they're right there. They're right there. And we watched them slowly just meander over that hill and down into the valley right behind us here.
I think they were sunning themselves. It was so cold last night.
It was cold. We're about 9,300 feet, so it got down in the 40s last night, which was nice. Middle of August, it's around really 90 cold back home, so it's good to be in the mountains in August. Now this morning we're going to continue on the Backcountry Discovery Trail. It's going to take us out of the National Forest for a little while to the west, because there's no real good way to get from the south to the north, not a straight path through the National Forest. So it's going to take us out onto BLM land a little bit, but back into the forest. And hopefully we'll make it to Burgess Junction, because they have a gasoline pump there.
You better hope.
I did the math, and we should make it.
we got up this morning and we saw that huge elk herd, and then about an hour and a half in maybe on the trail, there was this overlook, and it was just beautiful. You could see for miles and miles, and the stone was gorgeous.
Yeah, the terrain that we went through today was a little bit or a lot of everything. We saw these magnificent vistas, you know, like Mary just mentioned. You get up on this overlook, and there's just beautiful, beautiful sandstone cliffs and everything. And we hit a lot of two-track trails going through some grasslands, which was a lot of fun.
Some of it was so muddy and slick, it was like gum.
Yeah, because of the rain we had the night before, some of it was awfully slippery.
We saw 2 motorcycle riders, and they were awesome. We kept piggybacking each other. Leapfrogging through the trail. And then we saw a group of motorcyclists, and one of them wiped out.
Yeah, one
in
of them
that mud. It was
so
slippery.
And that's on the backcountry trail. That's all we're seeing really are these the dual sport motorcycles. We've seen a couple of Jeeps, but really
and some side by sides.
Yeah, side by sides, but they don't count. Now, as far as trail conditions go on the backcountry trail, you will definitely need some ground clearance and some good tires. We're lucky we have our Nitto Ridge Grapplers on. Otherwise, we would have just been spinning our tires in all the mud that we encountered. Some skid plates would do nice for you, but we made it through without banging into too many rocks. But there are some rocks and a lot of loose rock, a lot of short ledges to crawl over in some sections.
But if you just go slow, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
I even drove it.
We did most of the trail today in 2-wheel drive. You know, when things got a little too steep or whatever. We usually use 4-low just to control our speed more than anything else. Another thing we encountered were some really nasty washboard gravel roads. I mean, when we get home after this, I'm gonna have to go through the 4Runner and check every nut and bolt, make sure nothing loosened up, because it was awful, and it went on for quite a few miles. But like I said, the scenery along that path was something not to miss. Now, we did drive about, I think, 13 miles or so on a paved highway. And that was getting to right before we got to Burgess Crossing, which we got to Burgess Crossing. We did not run out of gas. We had plenty to spare.
We made it.
But yeah, right before Burgess Crossing, we hit some pavement. And then
the pavement was kind of nice after all that.
It was kind of nice, just nice and calm. And then there was, right after Burgess Crossing, we hit some nicely manicured gravel roads for quite a few miles. And now we are back on a little 2-track trail in the forest here, and we have picked a wonderful campsite with that view. Now, you may have noticed that we have a couple of stowaways on this trip. These are our 2 dogs, obviously. We figured we'd bring them on this trip. Usually we kennel them, but we brought them along this time, and they're doing pretty good.
We take them on shorter trips, but
not long trips like this.
They're getting older.
Yeah.
This is Poppy.
That's Poppy. She hates road trips, long road trips, and does not like camping. She's kind of a princess. She likes her nice couch to lay on.
Nice bed.
And this is Max. Big Max. This is little Pop, and this is Big Max. Max loves car rides and loves camping. He's a pretty sturdy old boy.
And they're Cairn Terriers.
Yeah, by the way.
All that bumping and scraping made me really hungry.
Me too.
What's for supper?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
Good morning. I have my coffee and I'm ready to roll.
I pooped, so I'm ready to roll.
So where are we going today?
We're going to finish up on the backcountry route. It shouldn't take long. It ends at the Montana border, of course, and we're pretty close to it already, and we are going to show you what we find along the way.
was a good trail. We made it to the end and it's not even noon yet.
Yeah, we were right. We weren't that far from the end. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more exploring to do.
After reaching the end of the Backcountry Discovery Trail, we finished the day with a little exploring. We went hiking, we went to a waterfall.
Yeah, what was the name of the waterfall? Can you remember? Porcupine?
It was Porcupine.
Porcupine Waterfall.
And it was so much fun going down and so worth it, so beautiful.
It was a half-mile hike to the falls
down.
And a half-mile back.
Up.
Yeah, it was pretty steep.
It was a rough hike up.
Dogs did fine, and they're ancient.
Shut up. But it was beautiful. It was worth
It's
going to see.
Definitely worth it. And then what else did we do?
We saw a cabin.
We took a bunch of other trails around the northern section here in the Bighorns, and found a bunch of new trails that we've never been on before, and found that cabin, which was kind of cool and creepy at the same time, but it was fun to see and poke around in.
It's hard to imagine someone tried to eke a living out.
Yeah, it's at a high elevation. It's at 9,000 feet, and it looked like they tried farming by the look of the implements they had around it and stuff. I'd go down below and try to farm if I was.
But then I think someone used it as an actual cabin, maybe a hunting cabin or something.
Probably.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that. You know, I gotta be honest, after 4 full days of bouncing around off-roading with no shower, I'm ready for a hotel.
We've got one more day. We've got 5 days.
Says you.
No, we talked about this. There's 5 more days. One more day, and then we'll head home. And then you'll get a shower. Not tomorrow, maybe not the next night, but by the weekend, you'll get a shower.
We'll talk about this.
So this is where we're gonna say goodbye. We are gonna finish up. Don't stop watching. We're going to finish up with some footage and pictures that we'll take tomorrow to give. What we're going to do tomorrow is we're at the far north end, far northwest corner.
Yeah, what are we doing tomorrow?
We're going to hit some more trails that I have mapped out on Gaia, and we're going to head down to the southeast corner and camp there at least one night.
So back where we started?
Pretty much back where we started, yeah, close to it. And then we'll go from there. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. That helps us get more viewers, and consider subscribing and comment. Leave a comment down below if you feel like it.
Oh, we love comments.
Yeah, we love comments.
Thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks for watching. And keep watching.